Time's up. Admiral.
Here it comes.
By the power of Grayskull!
I am dumping unlimited power into you. We named zombies after you in that game.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're these big fat bloaters that sun themselves and they just lay there.
yeah. Oh, those are the things that come out of my rainbow's ass.
That's what
All Shooty wanted to do was be inside me.
Imagine for a moment, if you will, being Adam's neighbor. You're sitting in your favorite easy chair. Maybe you got a cup of tea and you're reading your favorite book, and out of nowhere, through the wall, you hear this. Culturally appropriate my dick.
Come. They warned us about people like you! It was one of the first James Bond movies I watched, so I have a bit of a connection to it. And
That's Dermot's excuse.
I don't fuck.
It was their first date, Adam. Shut up.
I will stop bringing it up. I don't give a fuck what that wannabe VTuber cunt wants to say. Okay, let me have my moment.
Dude, that's like a test of strength. That's not gay. That's like I'm gonna grip you. I'm gonna grip you harder than you grip me, brothers and sisters.
Oh no!
I want you to gather around. I want you to gather around and understand that we are in a time of troubles. Know that a darkness has descended upon us, or one may call it a shadow has descended. A shadow that also hides fairy tale communism. And what you must know in order to battle this, that you must join together and understand that when the black man runs through Japan, it may be gay, but it's okay because it's non-binary. And when the hairy-backed, unibrowed, fairest of them all, when she says we can all share in our daily tributes, you must understand that it's okay because she's a half-breed and she hates herself. You must understand that when she says she's the fairest of all, it's because deep down inside, she suppresses her whiteness. And that's okay. And that when you are creeping across the tops of the roofs across Japan, and you peek in the window and see that man being sodomized,
Wow.
you must understand that it's okay because it's in a video game. And if you are a chud, you must cry hard. And remember, when we get through these dark times, through these shadows, and we leave the communist propaganda behind, when you are out with your family, walking through town, stay away from the pizza joints because you never know when the throat goat may be there. Look around, you can understand that throat goats are among us, and they will tempt you with the pizza. But do not listen to them, for they will not deliver on the promises that they make. That is why they are throat goats. That is just.
Oh God,
those eyes, dude. Those eyes, man. Those eyes.
Pretty eyes.
I'm not looking at them eyes right now.
You know what?
I know, but she is a total package. She is a total package.
I usually think Ryan. I usually think Ryan is very cringe when he says this, but she can shit in my mouth.
Whoa,
Dermy!
Why do you have to ruin
What
this?
the fuck?
Ryan says that shit.
Fuck,
Ryan
I know,
says
but
this shit.
If
Ryan
jumped off a bridge,
would you jump
off
a bridge?
But you just
For her, yeah.
would.
Here we are worshiping this beautiful woman, and you're talking about German shit eating. I mean, come on.
Listen. I will drag my ball sack.
No, listen.
100
You
miles
listen to
worth
me.
of
Shut the
frickin'
fuck up.
broken glass, salt, and lemon
Shut the
juice
fuck up,
just
Jeremy.
to smell her farts.
We're not on your goddamn stream. We're on Adam's stream. We're
Wow,
supposed to respect the man's house. You don't take a shit in his goddamn fridge.
You are a worthless turd.
All right, Devil. Here we go. Now these are
do you
the
peel
bananas
it first, or are you going to take the whole thing?
No, I'm gonna eat it.
Want the banana?
All right, so now it's going to be extra distasteful because, as you can see, it started to ripen, and I don't like a ripe banana. I like a slightly green banana, so it's not going to taste as very good at all to me.
Make sure you cup it.
Well, I mean, all right. So now it has to be circumcised. So there we go.
That's true. You need to make sure you do that. Okay,
make sure God Abraham is.
You also need to make sure to.
No, listen.
Prep your
listen. Okay, you know what? There were no rules set down for this. Okay, outside of I just have to eat it the long way, which whatever the fuck that means.
It means try a one fucking bite, bitch.
Yeah. So, I have a gag reflex, so we're gonna. All right. So, how's that? Is that a good angle?
Yeah, that's a really good angle. Come on, deep throat that banana.
No, Kratos. There is no sweet.
I'm really uncomfortable now.
I'm a man of my word. Okay. All right. Here comes the memes. I deliver. I have to build my. I don't want to put something long in my mouth like this.
So many clippable moments.
Do it.
All right, let me try and control my laughter. I can't be laughing when I do this. I might choke. Okay, give me a second here.
Get it, girl.
Yeah, that's right. You take.
I hit the gag. I hit the back of my throat.
2 words Dermy's never said.
That's what it does when that happens.
You need to fix it.
All right, is that it? Am I done?
Well, you got a banana there.
Well, now I'm just eating a regular banana at this point. I took it the long way as much as I could.
Yeah, I'm fine. We got what we want. The clip.
If Devil is satisfied, then we're done.
There we go. All better now. Man, titties are the greatest things on earth.
Die.
Can't argue with that. Titties are pretty great.
Yeah, titties are. Hey, listen. I saw plenty of titties last weekend. They're all around me. And I couldn't touch them. I didn't have enough money to touch them.
Well, Jet's a married man now, so leave him alone.
Yeah. They were all around you. So I have one burning question for you.
What?
Did you catch the bouquet?
No. Because I wasn't out there on the floor with the girls. I was on the sideline.
He just stole it after somebody else caught it. He's smarter than that.
I'm dying. Leave me alone. No, listen. I was. Thank you. I was sick. I've been sick. I go to this thing, and I end up being sick. Now, whatever I had it before I left, and it kind of just. I guess all the stimulation from the bachelor party and all the traveling made it sprout rings and birth itself. I don't know.
And who knows what kind of venereal diseases you caught from all those.
Hey, listen. No, listen. All right. I will regale. Listen, I will regale a little bit of what happened at the bachelor party. Okay.
He doesn't kiss on the mouth.
No, listen. You learned. I knew this truth going in. Strippers will only like you as long as you have money. Okay.
That's very true.
You don't have money because I got a little bit of money. I had a little bit of money, and I had when one of them sat on my lap and she called me Poppy, and hands were everywhere, and she's like, "Would you like a massage or the dance?" And I had been traveling for literally a day. I was exhausted, and I went for the massage. And while it wasn't the dance, there was still plenty of boob pressed up against the back of my head, and it felt nice. Okay. And I got the massage, for a little bit of a discount because I had what was in my pocket. And rest of the night was just a lot of watching. And I saw a lot of glorious boobs of all shapes and sizes. And every time one of them would come over, I'd let them sit on my lap for a little bit before I break the news. Yeah, I got no more money. And it's like, oh, goodbye. And there was this one perfect girl. And if I was going to break the no get money from the ATM machine, it would have been for her. And she was there. And I just like, nah, I can't do it because you're only going to love me for my money. You're not going to love me. So I had to let it go. But it was a parade of boobs, and it was glorious. It would have made Cloud would have had a heart attack if he was there.
I'm as disappointed as when I heard about you not drinking from the hose, man.
Oh, we're going back to that again.
This chick literally said, I can put my ass on your lap and in your face. And you said, no, can you just rub my back? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Her hands went everywhere all over my upper body.
Unless she went on my sack, it ain't fucking worth the missing the dance.
Club out in the open. No one's going to jump my bones in the middle of a... That's not how it works.
You obviously
haven't been to the champagne rooms for. Yeah, man.
I didn't have enough money for that.
Oh my god!
You don't need money. Just bring some blow. You'll be fine.
I would have sold my fucking mother, dude.
Listen. I am not getting a venereal disease for like a couple seconds of pleasure from a stripper. Okay, I'm not.
There's penicillin. Shut the hell up.
I might be allergic to penicillin. My mom was.
I am, and I'd still do it.
You know, they've got a cure for syphilis now.
Yeah, but they don't have a cure for AIDS. I'm not taking any chances.
It's not a deadly disease anymore.
Do I look like Magic Johnson? I didn't listen. I did not think that we were going to start down this road today. But welcome back to Mellow Mondays, everybody. We took last week off because I was out of town. I spent half the week sick, but back half still made the wedding. Had a good time. It was a great wedding. Had a lot of fun. Hang out with some very cool people, and we're back here now to hang out with you bums. So, I've downgraded.
That's fair.
Samuel.
I mean, I got a pretty nice ass, but it ain't that nice. So
yeah, but you got tentacles. That makes it weird. I'm not Japanese, so it makes it weird. It was I hope everybody had a decent time. As you know, I'm still a little sick. Still kind of dealing with a little bit of cough, a little bit of a chest thing. It's almost done. Another couple more days, and I should be through it completely. And then I got, you know what? Then I gotta get back to exercising because there are a couple photos taken during the wedding, not the official photos, a couple candid ones. And Jed passed one along to Dermy, unfortunately, where I'm standing there. It's complete. I don't photograph well. I never have. At least I don't think I photograph well. Especially, I don't think I have a very good profile. I've never liked my profile. And this was kind of a side shot towards the end where we're holding some sparklers and it looks like I'm holding a wand. And Jed is captioning that one, "You're a wizard now, Adam." And Dermy has that picture. And Dermy's miffed at me because I had a hand in a plot to make him break a very expensive gun plot. So he's a little miffed at me. So he's going to use that amongst other things to torture me, he says. But either way, I got to get back to exercising because I look like a fat piece of shit in those photos. So once I'm finished all healing up, it's back to the exercise because I have no more niggling injuries. Everything's healed. I just got to stop coughing and shit. And it's just some exercise. It's not an eating problem. It's just exercise. Some exercise, lose 20 pounds or so. Finally, maybe, hopefully, get down there. But either way, I got to get back to that because I didn't look good. I don't think I look very good. Fat fuck. Like I can admit it. Adam fat. I can admit that. Anyway, how we doing, boys? How you guys doing? Doing all right?
Oh, not too shabby.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all things considered. Yeah. Got off work on time, so I'm happy. Here we are.
Excellent. I am happy to. You know, it was very strange being cut off for a week because I had my phone, but I can't do shit on my phone. It's like it's foreign to me. I can't keep track of anything. So shit keeps happening. I'm not tapped in, and it felt weird not being in the know of what's going on. It felt weird not keeping up, and it felt weird just being out of the rhythm and not being able to, do this shit. It just felt weird. And yesterday's roundtable was very odd because I literally had next to no prep time for any of the topics. So it's odd. Lack of control. Definitely there. Not there. Hail and howdy to the chat though. How we doing out there? Listen, DJ Grom. Unless you are a stripper, I'm not going to do you. So don't worry. But welcome. We're all a little slap happy, I think, tonight. I feel it in the air. Anyway, so I've got like one little topic. We'll get to it. Other than that, it's the usual. I've got a few things I'll bring up. We'll generate discussion and see where it goes.
Yeah.
But I want to announce a new show. I announced it yesterday, but I'm going to announce it to you guys right here at the beginning because it's an open opportunity new show I'm going to be putting out. It's probably not going to happen until at the earliest May. But I'm doing this show. It's inspired by this very show. One of the segments I used to kind of try and clip out, Nerd Fight, where we would have maybe not such a fight, but a small debate over shit. But it's an inconsistent thing because you never know what we're going to really talk about here, what's going to generate a discussion. But I decided a couple weeks ago I'm going to do a new type of stream, Nerd Fight, debate, a pure debate show. Only 3 people, 1 moderator, 2 debaters, and I'm not necessarily one of the debaters. I could be the moderator. And we're going to, in about a month or so, I'm looking at May, I'm going to do the first one. So what's going to be like is essentially I'm going to get a topic, get 2 people who want to hopefully be on opposite sides of it, and give a week's prep time. So you get a week to prep your talking points. Then we sit down, go for a half an hour to an hour, and just go. Let it nerd fight it out, nerd rage it out. Should be fun. I think it'll be fun. Everybody I've talked to about it now thinks it's a good idea.
Sure.
Yeah. So you never know. So new show. In addition to the fact that somewhere around May into June, the tabletop stream will be happening. Nerd topic. All right. Well, best example right now, Grom, is the first one. I'm looking at it to be a Pokemon topic. And I've got 2 people. I've got 2 people in mind who will happily fight over it. 2 very big personalities, both of whom are definitely interested in doing the show. They both know of its existence, and I've spoken to both of them. Not about this topic, but they're both there. So it should be good. It should be good. I'm excited. So like Pokemon or it has to be like a nerd. Can't be anything. It has to be a nerd topic, from like regular nerd geek stuff to like gaming shit like that. Feelings on this, like perfect example. I know for a fact, like our buddy Kel, just example, he hates Final Fantasy IX. I could find somebody who likes Final Fantasy IX and likes and hates Final Fantasy IX and has like, hey, tell me why it's a good game or a bad game. Go. Not a 3-way like that, Grom. I mean, Star Trek, Star Wars. We've kind of done that a little bit before, but it wouldn't be like Star Wars versus Star Trek because that's a fight nobody's gonna win because that's apples and oranges. It has to be like something within the topic, like a single entity, debate the pros and the cons of a single thing. Because so it could be I had the idea before it, but it was inspired by a fight I saw about God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok concerning the previous God of War stuff. So like a fight about that. And when I saw that, it confirmed my idea that it would be really good just to have it be a pure debate show. And if you give people prep time, you're guaranteed a good fight. You're guaranteed a good nerd fight. What does Buck Rogers have to do with anything?
I mean, that's sci-fi.
Yeah, but no one's going to debate Buck Rogers. Come on. No one is that passionate about Buck Rogers. Let's be honest. Okay.
I'd be hard pressed to think of too many guys in our circle who've actually seen Buck Rogers aside from myself and maybe Devil and you.
I've saw bits and pieces as a kid when they aired it on Sci-Fi Channel. That's about it. I mean, a handful of episodes, maybe. I mean, it's one of the things you should go back and watch because it is classic. But it has to be something that engenders passion.
I was more passionate about the chick in the fucking show than the actual show.
I wasn't capable of that kind of passion yet when I first saw it. Didn't
He
exist.
just called you old devil.
It's okay. I came out the womb fucking hard up for women's.
I thought you were just gonna like leave that sentence hanging there. Like I came out the womb fucking.
Nurse came out and said,
all right, let me okay, you know what? All right, so speaking of Star Trek, I normally hate this meme. I usually despise this meme, but I came across it last night while we were watching Deep Space Nine, and I thought, oh, you know what? It's kind of fits the idea, I guess. I guess somebody's watching somewhere, and the algorithm somehow knew I was watching Star Trek. I normally hate the pick your airplane seat or pick your bus seat with characters on there, but this one actually sort of works, at least for us. So have at it, boys. Where are you sitting?
Oh, I saw this, man. Easy. Either 5 or 6. 5 because I would love to like hang out with them like in the holodecks doing the like fucking Viking battles and the Battle of Britain and shit. Or 6 because
Sex.
Yeah, let the freaking
sex.
Hurt me.
Yeah, they can break all my bones.
Hurt me, mommy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think because there's like in Four's case, like, you know, there's Dax. Dax, yeah, but there's also fucking Neelix.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like Neelix or like one. I mean, obviously one is a trap.
Yeah, big trap.
Yeah, you're
Right.
You're gonna murder somebody in that seat.
You know, so like 2 would be cool because Uhura is between me and the Gorn, and Uhura is also hot. You know, but I would probably go with an 8 or 7 or 8. 8 for obvious reasons because Spock is awesome and T'Pol has a couple of really great points at every encounter, and 7 because, you know,
prude.
Right? Morn is renowned for his storytelling abilities. So
very true. But why wouldn't you pick 5? Because then you could like literally talk to him too. I mean, he's right behind you or in front of you. It would be behind you.
I mean, that's true, but I have to sit next to Julian too.
Julian's annoying, but still, dude, you wouldn't want to be fucking like hang out with the bros on Deep Space Nine, man. Fucking,
I don't know.
Dude.
I hear Morn is the greatest storyteller in the Beta Quadrant, so, or the Alpha Quadrant or whatever. So I would probably have to stick with that. Besides, I'd have O'Brien right behind me. O'Brien's cool people, but I also wouldn't be sitting next to Julian.
Fair.
Well, I gave this one some thought as well, and all right, so you are correct. 1 is a trap because while you are next to the glorious 7 of 9, there is no amount of boob in the world that won't keep me from killing Wesley Crusher. I will murder him for all that he's done.
Yeah,
and like you said, 4 would be great. I mean, yes, Dax, but you know what? I'll murder Neelix too. I will murder his annoying ass. And yes, you would think that I'm going to go for number 6, but the pain. I'm not into rough, kinky sex. That's the problem. At least, well, all right. If it was 1 Klingon, yes, but not 2. Not 2. The broken bones. So I'm going to go with. I mean, you should not be surprised. I'm going with 3 because I don't have to sit next to Kai Wynn. I'm sitting next to my Beverly, my Dr. Crusher, who can nurse every aching woe that I have with her goodness.
I never got what you saw in that woman.
So okay, hold on. How did this show get so gay?
What? What?
Sam's taking all this opportunity to ask. He's all, I'm gonna talk to what's name? Shit, my brain fucking farted there.
Morn.
Hey, look,
And
I'm not worried about getting Tang, right? I've got game. I can do that at any time. How many opportunities am I going to have a chat with Morn?
and then you're just gonna take Beverly. You don't even know if she would fucking do anything with you. She's all over Picard. While at the same time, I'm literally in the bathroom joining the Mile High Club with 2 fucking Klingon women just beating my dick to death. Does anyone else in the chat fucking see how
you don't understand? No, that's a Beverly's a woman. She's a woman, and she knows all the pleasure points because she's a doctor. Okay,
and then she can come in and revive me after they bang me to death.
Listen. I have always had a thing for Beverly Crusher. I will never deny that. We know this. All right. It's just Gates McFadden was hot. It's during it was during those formative years, man. You know, it imprinted. And listen. If it was anybody but Wesley Crusher in number 1, I'd do number 1. But it's Wesley fucking Crusher. Murder. The worst thing that real Star Trek ever created, Wesley Crusher.
But what happens if she asks Kai Wynn to switch seats because
No,
Wesley has a panic attack?
It is
because
not
he's not
the
near
game
his
we're
mommy.
No, these are the assigned seats. These are rules. These are the assigned seats. All right,
dude. If something did happen, you would end up as his fucking
listen.
Stepfather, right?
Yeah, and then I'll like kill him anyway. Doesn't matter. Here's the thing. Like if let's say if Morn was sitting window and I got to sit bitch between her and Kira, I would then take that because I have just as big a thing for Kira. Okay, and Morn could tell the story while I make out with her. All right.
Okay, that's just for the hell of it, just to see where this goes, because hopefully this will regain your manhood. If you could,
I have made the case for having makeout time in two different women, and I've lost manhood. What?
Yes, because you didn't take the 2 Klingon women. Now, if you could make the perfect seating, you could change anyone around. What would you do?
What would I do?
Yeah, who would you pick? You're in number 5. You can switch out Julian and O'Brien.
All right. I'm in number 5, and I can switch it out. Now, these are in-world characters with all their limitations, correct? At this point in time, right?
Sure.
So I have to play that game because you would think I'd take 7, but 7 has the emotion inhibitor that will kill her if she gets too emotional. She hasn't had that fixed yet. All right?
I'd let her assimilate me.
I don't want her emotions, man. What the?
No, she can't. If she gets anything emotional, whether it's any sort of pleasure or anything, like she can't get intimate at all because that little thing, that chip in her head, will try and kill her. Okay.
Well, if that happens, I hope it happens.
She'll
after
die
I
happy.
finish.
Listen. All right. Listen. This might be because I'm watching DS9 right now, but if I had to do it, I would be the meat in a Dax and Kira sandwich.
Okay, since
I'll give you that.
You established that they're as their characters are, which means chances are we wouldn't have a chance with any of these women's, except for me with the 2 Klingon women's because they horny. So, I'd probably stick with what I had, to be honest. My best chance. But if I'll suffer from my passions. If they were all like incredibly horny and there was no chance I'm not getting any, then I'd have to go with crap. It's hard because there's 7, there's Kira, Dax, and T'Pol. So goddamn, which one would I pick? That's 7. I'd go 7. and then I'd probably go to Paul.
So, a pair of emotionless women.
Yeah. I'm there to make them satisfy them. I'm not there to fucking have polite conversation. I mean,
okay,
that's fair.
They can have intelligent conversation after I'm done and sleeping.
Which no, I won't say that. All right. Frank's with you. The Duras sisters for the win.
Yep.
See, here's the thing. Here's my problem. I only have a thing for one of the Duras sisters. I don't have a thing for both of them. I think I'm only into Beitor, not into Versa. So
I'm into whichever one's bent over in front of me at the time. Adam's all like, "What the fuck are you doing to my show, man?"
No, my reaction time is dulled because I'm sick. I should be reacting faster, but I'm not. All right, with the altered rules, Samuel, do you have what are you doing with Devil's altered rules?
So I'm in seat 5, huh?
Yeah, you can replace Miles and Julian.
Dax and Uhura.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, Dax and Uhura. Because those two have gotten a little freaky.
See, I remain with my choice, Kira Dax, because those later seasons in her ever increasing tight outfits on Kira, her uniform, I can never not see that, and also and then Dax, Dax, all that experience.
We know who Dermy would pick, so it's pretty clear. He'd pick Julian,
the Gorn, and Wesley.
No, I was gonna say Julian and Kai Wynn, because he's into an effeminate men and dude-looking chicks. So
yeah,
but then
dude-looking chicks who are gonna tell him how wrong and sinful he is.
Yeah,
as he touches a man's penis.
I would say the Gorn for his bestiality issues.
That's very true. You're right. I'm wrong.
See, that's the thing, though. It's like the Gorns. We give a lot of shit to Dermy, and Dermy's a big guy, and he could probably handle his own in a fight if he absolutely had to. But the fact is the Gorn is bigger than him, and is not going to take any shit, and is not going to fuck him. He's just going to kill him.
Your point.
You don't know, Dermy. Who knows that beastly dude's sex drive? He might jump on the Gorn like a face hugger.
I mean, that's possible. It's also possible that he'll win the fight and just fuck the dead Gorn. But
oh my goodness!
But I mean, at that point, it's like spoils of war, right?
Yeah.
I don't want those spoils. I don't want to fuck a dead Gorn. I'd rather fuck a live Kira and a live Dax. That's what I want to do. All right. Well, we had our fun. That was a good one. I enjoyed that. I didn't expect it to go the way it did, though. Then again, why should I be surprised? These things never go the way I think they're going to go. Whenever I bring them up, they never do. So, all right, what else I got here? I guess let's. All right. Well, here. All right. Conversation of topic. Topic of conversation. That's the correct word order, Adam. So while I was sick, locked up in my room at the hotel for literally 3 days, I did a lot of TV watching, and it had to be free TV watching because I didn't really bring much of anything that I could have used for watching there. But fortunately, the TV had the built-in apps and services. Now I don't have a Netflix subscription, but they had Tubi and they had YouTube. So I took advantage of Tubi. I logged in with my account, with my Google account, and it limited the commercials and all that stuff. And for the first few days, I was watching movies, stuff that I either had seen in a while or had seen. And eventually, I ended up watching Farscape because they had all 4 seasons, and that got me through the last few days. So, which was that was a good time. But before that, I was watching movies, and before that, I had to go not to Tubi, but something else, which had too many commercials. I decided I wanted to watch The Matrix 1 because there's one Matrix. Still slightly being influenced by the Get Ranked we did a few weeks ago. In the mood to see some of those Keanu movies, and I was and I got about half an hour into it before I tapped out because it was literally a commercial every 3 minutes, and I couldn't do that. So today I finally got around to getting back to it, and I finished watching The Matrix 1, and I kept thinking that the world would be a better place if there'd only been one Matrix movie.
Yes, 100%. Totally agree.
Because I tried to keep my mind in a certain place when I was watching and thinking, not knowing where it was going to go. And therefore, kind of just keeping a focus on the hints about what we thought they were going to do given in that movie and not knowing where it would go, like certain lines here and there. And I could not help but think, wow, it would have been best if it made it another one, but it would have been best if it had always gone the way I had hoped it would go. So I had always hoped, and I would have been the wise ways to keep the movie in the Matrix, because I think we can agree the problem with the following movies is that they left the Matrix for too much of the movies. Correct? Like going to the real world, and
I think the problem is that they didn't really have anywhere to go after that. It wasn't like that first movie, beginning, Neo doesn't know shit, and Neo is God. End of story. You don't need to go any further than that.
Yeah,
I think that was the problem.
I see that. That's it. Because here's the thing: I don't think they had anything else planned after that first movie. I don't think they had anything else written.
Which shows in The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions, it gets like dumber and dumber as it goes along.
Yeah, that's when I think that's when the Wachowski brothers were starting to chop off their penises to become the sisters.
They'd have you believe that, but I think it actually came later.
Hey, listen. At the end of The Matrix, it says made by the Wachowski brothers.
Yes.
Brothers.
So does V for Vendetta, which came out later.
So, but my point is this. So I see what you're saying there, that Neo becomes God inside the Matrix. And when it ended, and this is 1999, and so many of us at the time were trying to, nerds at the time, and we're a bunch of us who watched it and liked it, we were spitballing where was it going to go, what was going to do it. For me, I thought that, because we knew at the time there were going to be more movies. I mean, it was like, it was easy to guess. But I thought, as I said a minute ago, that it would continue in the Matrix, that it would delve deeper into the Matrix, and that it wouldn't get so meta, and it would be more, it would have some level of meta because it had to, because the first one set the stage for that kind of think beyond what you can see and blah, 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 blah. But I thought it would be some sort of war in the Matrix, not a war in the real world. And because to me, it made sense that as essentially a God program, which is what Neo became, he's so much more deadly in there, and as a program could be more deadly than the physical things, because a program could shut everything down rather than fight in the physical world. And it's so disappointing to watch it and see the potential of either keeping it where it was or going off in a better direction than it did.
Yeah, it's just, look, man, they that's why they had, Neo become like literal actual Jesus in the real world, was because like he couldn't be beaten in a Matrix, but the machines could come from the real world. And so like, where do you go from there, right? Because at this point, the way that they showed it to us, right, Zion was supposed to be the last bastion of free humans. Everywhere else in the world was literally controlled by machines. There were billions of these things, right? There's no way to win unless one of you is literal God. You know, and so they kind of painted themselves into a corner with that, which is unfortunate. I mean, if they had just let things lie, it would have been. I think it probably would have been better off.
And I'm 50-50 on it. Either let it lie or keep it, as I said, keep it in the Matrix where that's where the fight should have been. Because in my opinion, we never should have seen Zion.
Mm-hmm.
We never.
I'd agree.
Because once they opened it up and brought it to Zion, in the first movie, Morpheus, you feel like he's the complete leader of the resistance, something like that. And you get to Zion, and he gets cucked by everybody there.
Yeah, that's the thing is, it's not that I had a problem with them showing Zion. It's more how they portrayed it, the politics of it and stuff. They were trying to, bring this like, look at the political intrigue of Zion and their leadership, and it's like no one's interested in that. They're interested in the battle that's going on. And yeah, I do think that they were trying to add, I guess, complexity to it, but like you said, it just came off as like the only part anyone really cared about was what was happening in the Matrix.
Exactly. Yeah. And also by introducing characters that are for the most part uninteresting. Like every other character after the crew of the Nebuchadnezzar, every other character is uninteresting. I mean, yes. Persephone, played by the ever beautiful, I just forgot her name, Italian actress, just bloop out of my mind.
Oh, yeah.
I had it and I lost it. Sicky brain.
I can see her tits.
Oh, I can see her tits too. She
can see her tits.
She's the definition of a beautiful woman.
Shockingly for an Italian woman too, because a lot of them tend to look like you.
Thanks.
Well, you look like a dude. They do too.
I'm half Italian, I suddenly
they're just as hairy too, so
they got a thicker mustache than Thermi.
Listen, I don't want to think about that. Okay.
Why am I thinking Maria Bello? That is not at all correct. It's
Maria Bello.
I mean, she's hot too, but different woman entirely. And if I'm being honest, not on the same level.
Like right there, tip of my tongue. I feel terrible. I know her name all the time. And
Jesus, if you fap to a woman, you should at least have the decency to remember her name, Adam.
Yeah, you'd think that, but I don't remember Monica
Bellucci.
Either. So
there it is. All right, Monica Bellucci. Bellucci,
right.
The beautiful Monica Bellucci. Thank you, Frank.
I kept seeing her when I was picturing her. I wasn't picturing her in the Matrix movies, though. No. I was picturing her in Brotherhood of the Wolf, where she plays that Catholic emissary.
Ooh. I mean, she was also one of the brides of Dracula in Bram Stoker's Dracula.
She was, yeah.
She's been in tons of stuff, and she takes her tits out on a lot of it.
Although I would suggest, humble suggestion here. There's a movie she did with Vincent Cassel years ago called Irreversible. If you wish to have that wholesome image of her, don't watch that movie.
I don't have a wholesome image of her.
Trust me, compared to what's in this movie, you do. This is like borderline Serbian film shit. It's bad.
Okay.
It's not as bad as a Serbian film. Nothing on earth is as bad as a Serbian film.
While the following movies did give us Monica Bellucci looking epically hot, the lore they added, and normally I would say giving more lore, but the lore they added diluted everything. The idea in the first movie, you would think Neo is the only reincarnation of the original one, and then suddenly you learn by the end of the second movie, he's just
another reboot.
Million. Yeah, he's just the umpteenth version, and they're all cucks because they always reset the game board every time.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly it. The importance they gave Neo in the first one, they took away in the second one, essentially. And then in the third one, they made it like Sam said, they made him God in real life, essentially, and kind of jumped the shark with that. I don't know.
The problems persist because also in terms of a villain, it was more interesting to have the machines be a faceless villain. And having Agent Smith be dealt with in the first movie, done and over with. Bringing him back, as much as everybody loves Hugo Weaving, bringing back Agent Smith as your persistent villain was such a bad idea. You should have had a villain. I mean, the Merovingian could have been an interesting villain if he had been a real threat to go from that angle. But no, let's bring back Agent Smith and make him essentially virus cancer that absorbs and converts everything and spreads to. And then, of course, the idea of the architect and the oracle, to basically a couple who split and have different ideas of how to work the Matrix. And I don't know. I feel like they tried to make it more real, and that was the mistake. They tried to realism it, give it substantial meaning when it was cooler, when it was a little mystical, a little bit of mysticism mixed with the machine, made it cooler.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time since I had sat down and watched The Matrix, and I was wondering how I was going to feel watching it, and excuse me, if I was going to feel the urge, because you guys know, Devil can understand. I'm a completionist. When I start watching something, I want to go all the way. Hold on a second, bad one.
Yep. It must have been. I kind of get that though too. The completionist thing, like there's certain things that even if I hate them, if I start them, I have to finish them.
Oh, I 100% agree. I'm that way about TV shows, movies. It doesn't matter if I started, I have to watch them all, even if I hate them.
So I was wondering if I would if I'm able to suppress the urge to watch Reloaded and Revelations, and I didn't even have the urge. No urge to watch the next two, because we don't even consider the fourth one. That's not even on the table. That thing from a year ago or so. And I still was able to just enjoy The Matrix for what it was, thinking, okay, it's done. It's over. There's no more after it. And it's I don't want to say it's depressing, but it bummed me out a little bit realizing, excuse me, that the potential was there and they squandered it. I hate that.
Sure.
Bugs me.
Sure. So, yeah, it's just not I don't know. I feel kind of about the first Matrix movie the way I feel about the John Wick movie, and I know that this is something that not everybody agrees with me on, but yeah, I don't think it needed to have sequels. I think it was fine on its own. There was no good reason to bring in more of them.
That's
aside from obviously the money angle, but yeah,
fair. That is a fair thing. And while I enjoy the subsequent movies, I can agree that it would be just as great if it had just been the one. Funny thing though, watching The Matrix, I found myself thinking, I wonder what it would have been like if, as Neo goes in the third act, like full attack mode, what if he had been John Wick?
It would have been funny.
It's like, wow. I don't think he would have had to go to one mode to beat the crap out of the agents. John Wick could have done it. John Wick in The Matrix could have destroyed the agents without going full one, I think.
Sure. Sure. Even if he couldn't, it would have been worth seeing. Like if you got the choreographer from The Matrix and the choreographer from John Wick to work together to do a fight scene between Hugo Weaving and Keanu Reeves, man, that would have been something to behold.
That would be cool. That would be cool because no matter what, the choreography in the Wick movies are outstanding. It's outstanding.
I would say that actually, I don't know if I'd agree with that, just because the fact is the agents literally dodge bullets and shit. So with the bullet time, so wouldn't they be like anti John Wick since most of his stuff
I'm saying
is
this is John Wick souped up in The Matrix is what I'm saying. It's like with Matrix
right, but
abilities.
You keep in mind too that John Wick's whole specialty, even with firearms is close range.
Yeah.
Right. So if he could get in close enough, right, I think that you'd have a fight on your hands.
Yeah. It just jumped in my head. It just jumped in my head because I don't think at this point in time you were in words, Adam. Think about them, use them properly. I don't think it's a hard leap to superimpose John Wick over Neo, especially when if you look at the fourth movie, which will not be mentioned, he essentially is physically John Wick in that movie. He looks like John Wick in that movie.
I mean, I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it either. I saw screen caps. So
yeah,
and
no, it was something
I
I didn't
didn't
watch. I'll tell you. You know,
yeah.
you mentioned
Go ahead.
Tubi earlier.
Mhm.
So I found a relatively recent film, came out late last year, early this year, that South African movie. And the ending leaves something to be desired, but it had some really interesting concepts in it that also kind of echo shit going on. But essentially, it's called The Fix, and it takes place in a future world where basically the air is unbreathable. Everybody has to wear masks or take special pills in order to, not succumb to the toxins in the air, right? And some places are worse than others. So you got like red zones, orange zones, and green zones, except that the last green zones are turning very quickly into orange zones, which is bad. So you enter this influencer chick, right? She's a model. She's an influencer. She's very famous, but just because her mother was a model and they like her look and her face. And so she's, of course, one of those very hollow, empty, lonely people who lashes out at everybody for little to no reason, treats her best friend like shit. She finds out that her best friend is sleeping with her boyfriend, who's a drug dealer, right? So she loses her shit, grabs this random vial of crap that he had lying around without realizing what it was. She didn't know what it was. He didn't know what it was. He stole it from a fucking trap house earlier that day. And she downs the whole thing just looking to drown her sorrows. And it mutates her DNA into something else that's capable of producing the hormones that combat the toxins in the air. And she becomes this like mutant thing, like almost like a human dragonfly hybrid. It was kind of an interesting movie. The ending was a bit of a like, okay, well, I guess we're just going to stop it here kind of thing. But there were some cool ideas in it. And this was just some random thing I picked up off Tubi. I was just scrolling through random shit. I was like, oh, this looks interesting. And I watched it. And for the most part, I liked it. So I don't like, so when we're talking about like the remakes and the reboots and the big movies and the AAA games and all of that stuff, I have almost no interest in any of that shit anymore. Right. There are smaller films with more interesting ideas out there. Well, there are lesser known television shows that I'm finding much more intriguing.
I mean, I feel you on that. I have zero interest in anything new, none, unless it's anime. That's the only new that I generally get interested in is anime, whether it's something I've been watching or a next season of something. But if it's even television, like I know there's a show out there right now. I saw a preview of it last week because I actually got forced to watch commercials because of Tubi, which was weird. I'm not used to that. Something called Mobland with Pierce Brosnan and Tom Hardy. And
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
I felt a spark of interest because I'm a Pierce Brosnan fan, but I still don't want to watch it because I don't really have faith in anything new produced. I mean, first thing
did you by any chance did you watch The Foreigner with Pierce Brosnan and Jackie Chan?
With Jackie Chan? No, I haven't.
You should watch that movie. If you're a Pierce Brosnan fan, I think you'll like that movie quite a bit. It's Jackie Chan plays a Chinese national living in London or in Ireland, and there's a terrorist attack as there happens to be in Northern Ireland half the time. Or no, this takes place in London, but it was like IRA kind of guys, and he loses his kid. And this is right in the beginning. I'm not spoiling anything. It was in the trailers and all that shit. But he loses his only remaining relative, which was his daughter. She dies in the explosion. So he tries to do the right thing. He tries to go through the proper channels with the police and with the Irish consulate and all that stuff, who's played by Pierce Brosnan. And eventually he keeps getting stonewalled so much that he's like, fuck it, I'm going to go take revenge myself. And it's about this like old fucking Chinese special ops dude infiltrating Ireland to kill a bunch of terrorists. It's a wild fucking movie. It's really good. It's also a very serious film and not like Jackie Chan's usual shit.
Last somewhat new Pierce Brosnan thing I watched was, this is a bunch of years ago now. It was a Western type of thing, not current day, but his character had been what was that? Because it kept doing flashbacks to his past and his present day, and I think he was he was a cattle baron, but who had been kidnapped and raised by the Indians of that region at one point. And basically his struggle to keep his family land, and it turns out that his neighbors, who were Mexicans, who were on that side of the border after the war with Mexico, they had oil on their land, and at the end of the season, it only lasted for, I think, actually one season.
Sons? Wasn't it Sons?
Sons of something. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Sons.
And it was interesting, but it wasn't great.
I lost all care for Pierce Brosnan or whatever the hell his name is after my sister made me watch Mamma Mia.
Well,
that's
not
after you hear that man sing, you're like, I can't respect you, dude. Sorry.
I can't believe you agreed to be in this movie.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Twice. 2 of those movies.
I get Hugh Jackman. He's lost to us, but
he's
dude.
gay. He's gay. But yeah. So, but point is, there is an interesting show. I mean, that sort of catches my eye. But I maybe when it's over, I'll check it out. But I have no desire to watch anything new because I'm always in some cases. I mean, look at everybody who thought Daredevil was going to be great. They had that hope, and it is utterly crushed. I mean, I'm about 2 weeks behind on caught up because Dre is suffering through that, and he wasn't on Roundtable yesterday. But I know he's watching it, and I'll make him relive it next weekend. But everybody else I've heard, they've given up on it. At this point, it's a complete disaster. Now it's Disney MCU. I mean, it was going to be what it was going to be, but that was like the one ray of hope. And people who are into a lot of the Taylor Sheridan stuff, like all the Yellowstone spinoffs, sure, I think they like it, but I don't care. Never cared about Landman. I do like
Tulsa King.
But that's Stallone though, man. That's
such
Stallone.
a good show, man. I can't wait for season 3.
Yeah, they're doing it now. Yep. That should be. I kind of think I understand where season 3 is going to go. Kind of clear that he's going to. Spoilers, warning, spoilers. Tulsa King's finale, season 2. In case you need to catch up. Spoilers now. Earmuffs. He's going to be made to work for the government because he got black bagged at the end of season 2. So he's
pulled out of bed.
He's gonna be forced to work for the government.
Clarkson Farms season 4 is out next month. I'm excited about that.
I'm not into that stuff, and also that's just like fake reality television.
What the fuck is wrong with you? That is the fucking one of the best shows, man.
I don't give a fuck about Jeremy Clarkson making a farm in England.
I'm with Adam on this. Yeah,
Gary
with Adam on this. I don't
gay,
watch.
Man.
Gary can jerk off all he wants.
Well, I'm gay because I don't watch reality TV. I think it's the other way around, brother.
It's not reality. We know it's not reality, but goddamn it, it's fucking hilarious.
I'm not interested in that. But seriously, what else is there? What else?
You know what? I saw something that was put up on YouTube. It was a pilot episode that Adam, you might. I'm gonna feel bad for saying this. You might relate to. It's called The Exodus, and it is an Office style comedy about the Exodus.
Hate The Office. I hate
Yeah,
The Office.
no, I get that. I hear that, but there it is. Oh, holy shit! It's a half hour long. It's on YouTube. They're planning on making more of it, and essentially, it's Moses and Aaron and company being followed around by a camera crew while they wander in the desert. It's really fucking funny. There's one guy in there, and he's like, yeah. So I am not the Hebrew. I am an Egyptian. I was chasing the Hebrews, and then suddenly the seas closed and all my friends disappeared, and I found myself on the wrong side of it. So I'm trying to blend in. So he's just like, he swiped this one dude who was bathing's clothes, and he's just, trying really hard not to get caught because he thinks they're going to kill him if they find out he's not one of them.
Sure. Maybe. I don't know.
It's, I mean, you gotta have a pretty good knowledge of, the Exodus story and all that to get all the jokes.
Yeah,
but there are some really good jokes in it.
My point is though, what is there to be excited about for television anymore? Really? I mean, because I'm with you. I don't care about any of these new shows that come out ever. It's like they're not there. I mean, there's no more good British period pieces anymore. They stopped making those. The period shows are done. Anything remotely science fiction, fantasy, what are they basing it off of? These days, they're basing it off of essentially YA garbage.
Yep.
I'm not into YA garbage. And what's original? I don't see anything original. So it's, what are we doing? So we retreat to stuff we watched, or maybe something you just didn't finish watching, or like I said, the only new I get is anime. It's the only new I get. That's the only new fresh content I ever get. And then what you hope is that you don't get bored watching the old stuff. Now, of course, that's why I think you spread out what you like to rewatch. Don't watch it constantly. I try to watch things once a year, or sometimes biannually. I mean, if it's like Stargate, biannually, because that's 10 seasons, 15 if you include Atlantis. That's a lot. And if you watch it every year, it will wear on you. So you try to space something like that out. Farscape, I try to do once a year. I unintentionally started the Farscape watch last week, so and it was like a blitz watch because it was all I had on for like 3 days at one point. So I'm already at season 4. So I find it sad that outside of anime, there's like nothing to look forward to. Because look at movies. I mean, we talked about it sort of yesterday. Minecraft is mindless slop. But I made all the fucking money this week. But it's mindless slop from everybody that I've heard who's watched it.
Sure.
But I guess but that is what passes for entertainment for some people. And it's not even, listen, from the 80s and the 90s, we have our share of mindless slop. But I feel like that mindless slop was just, pointless action and nudity, which is good. This is bad Jack Black jokes and visual gags that are geared toward people who only played Minecraft. Because you take action slop from the 80s and 90s, which was just over the top berserk action with titties and ass. You don't need the background and anything. You can just enjoy that for what it is. If you are of zero knowledge of Minecraft, I don't think this kind of mindless slop would work for you.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Yeah. And so, I mean, and from what I hear, there's next to no wokeness in it. So it's not like it's an agenda-driven thing. It's just mindless slop. I can't fault them for making it, but is this where we are? That's going to be the billion-dollar movie, the first billion-dollar movie of the year?
Well, probably, yeah. That's I think that's where it was always going.
Honestly, I didn't think it was gonna. I said this yesterday, and I'll reinforce it because I'm not gonna pretend otherwise. Because I have too many receipts online saying so. I didn't think that Minecraft was gonna be this kind of a hit.
I didn't either.
Because everybody we talked to who had kids said they weren't interested. Kids who played Minecraft, and there was no energy for this movie at all. But here it is, opening weekend. There's now, of course, no competition. That plays a large role, I believe. But boom, here we are. And what'll be interesting is next week we'll see what the legs are on this thing. Will it hold? Will it carry on? Will the kids go back and see it again? I mean, have you seen any of those clips that they had out there of people reacting in the theaters?
Oh, that's so lame.
It is lame. I wonder, is it staged or is it real?
I think it's one of those things where you have a couple people in the theaters that are that big of fucking dumbasses and big of fans, and they're seeing their cheering and shit. So then everyone kind of joins in. It's just one of those things. But yeah, I'm sorry. Just because I see a character that I saw in a video game, I'm not going to start clapping like a seal and acting like it's something important. It's so stupid.
I don't. There's just something about this that feels manufactured to me. Maybe I'm being too negative because I don't like it that I got this one wrong. And maybe that's a factor in it. But something about this, the media surrounding it, the reactions to it, it doesn't feel organic. I don't know. Maybe it's because I've never liked Minecraft. I mean, you guys ever play Minecraft?
I played it with my kid, but that's about it. And I didn't get very far. We just did like editor mode where you could just build shit. Yeah,
that's exactly it. I wasn't too interested in the story. I just was all like, oh shit, I can fucking build a castle with a trap door. You know, like...
my kids love it. But I only got into it because they asked me to play it with them, and I didn't get that far.
I've had friends who have spent untold amounts of hours playing this game, where they've built their massive worlds, their underground kingdoms, and all that kind of shit. They always wanted me to play it. I'm like, yeah, nope, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. So I never got into it. I don't understand the appeal of it because, well, you guys know I like my share of strategy type games, build type games, not like that, because it's just mining and the crafting. You're just Minecrafting. You're just building the shit, and I just never found it appealing. So I guess maybe I had a bit of a blind spot. And here's the thing also, maybe I didn't realize that there is an old enough generation who's played it for enough years, who started playing it as a kid and are now in their 20s, that we're going to turn out for this shit. Maybe that was a blind spot I had in understanding it. And here they are. They turned out for it. Here we go. 300 million worldwide gross opening weekend.
Yeah.
Boy, did I get that.
Minecraft's been around for a while, so yeah.
Yeah. I really got this one wrong. I thought the initial reaction to Jack Black and all those original trailers, I thought that was enough to turn people off. Man, I sometimes I'm on it, like I was on it with Snow White. I predicted that one near perfectly, and this one, I don't get it. That's a good way to put it. These are now essentially 10-year-olds with allowances. Now 20-year-olds who used to be 10-year-olds with actual money to spend.
I guess it's like the Barbie thing. It's hard to anticipate nostalgia, right? That people would get some nostalgic thing and go see a shitty movie because of the.
So am I an anomaly in the fact that I am not so easily nostalgia baited into anything?
I am certain things, but not everything.
Yeah, maybe. I had a discussion with my buddy Caucasian Sasquatch on Saturday about that kind of thing, about how after Edward Bernays designed our entire advertising infrastructure based on the work of his uncle Sigmund Freud, right, kind of fucking us all forever, and how we'd all been kind of born into this inundated, saturated advertisement market, right? You know, that I know this is getting a little more my side of the fence than yours, Adam, so I'll keep it short.
It's all right.
But
It's all right.
but he was just like, then why is it that I've always hated everything I ever saw on TV? I was like, I think it's like the Paxilon from Serenity. Like a tenth of the population had the exact opposite reaction to it, and you're a Reaver.
Listen, as long as I don't have to do the things a Reaver does, I can get that.
Yeah,
but
never heard of the Reavers? If they catch us, they'll rape us to death, eat our flesh, and sew our skins into their clothing. And if we're very, very lucky, they'll do it in that order.
But yeah, it's I don't like feeling like this, but I do. That I don't get it. I don't understand it. Does it mean I really am getting too old? I am boomering out. That is like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Because Jed put it pretty well when we talked about it yesterday. This movie's made for TikTok brains.
Yeah.
I'd agree.
I'm fine with being get off my lawn today.
Yeah.
Right, I would say Jack Black's whole career is made for TikTok brain, but
that's true.
And the funny thing is, the last time I could say I enjoyed anything remotely Jack Black was Kung Fu Panda 2.
Oh God, I hated all the Kung Fu Pandas.
I thought they had good emotional.
I think I only watched 1.5, but they all look stupid to me.
They had good emotional touches. I liked them like that, but that was the last time I liked the second one. Because I know I did see the third one, because the third one was where he went to Pandoria from World of Warcraft, but the second one was better than the third one, which is I liked it. This last one I know I liked. So I don't understand how that dude continues to get work at this point.
Well, it's just like so many actors. Yeah, it's just like so many actors that always play the same damn person. No matter what role they're in, no matter what movie, they're the same damn person. Jack Black always plays Jack Black. So if you don't like Jack Black, you ain't gonna like a single fucking movie that asshole's in.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right, let's have a little fun. Okay, that went a little of a bummer turn. I intended to be a metaphysical discussion about the Matrix, and it took us down sad paths. So let's go back to a time when things were awesome in gaming. We got to know another one of these. Best game from this list, I guess, in 2007.
Oh Christ!
We've got BioShock. We got COD 4, Super Mario Galaxy, Assassin's Creed 1, Mass Effect 1, Portal, the first Uncharted game, Crysis, the first Witcher game, and its enhanced edition, so that's a basic director's cut, original God of War, Halo 3, Lego Star Wars, fuck that, Spider-Man 3, Tomb Raider Anniversary, I don't know what that entails, a racing game called Pro Street, Manhunt 2, Silent Hill Origins, Half-Life Episode 2, Team Fortress, introducing Portal, Ratchet and Clank Future, Tools of Destruction, Zelda Phantom Hourglass. That looks like the second WoW expansion, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ghost Recon.
Well, hold on. Was the first? That might be the first one, because wasn't the second one a Frozen one?
No, this looks like Burning Crusade. Is this Burning Crusade? It looks like Burning Crusade. Was that the second, or was Frozen Throne the second one?
I think the Frozen Throne was the second one, with the Lich King or whatever.
This is Burning Crusade. Burning Crusade. Forza 2, Command & Conquer 3, Civ 4, Beyond the Sword. That's an expansion. That's not the actual game. That's an expansion. And Unreal Tournament. A lot of good games here. Now,
dude, I only played a fraction of these.
I've only played a fraction. I've played a third of these games, a third. And here's the problem. This is one of those questions that's going to be geared towards taste. It's going to be geared towards taste.
Absolutely.
Of what you play, what you like. And so let me see. Out of these, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I played 7 of these games. Not in that year, sometimes later, but I played 7 of these.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I only got 6 on the list that I actually played.
And as I said, I didn't necessarily play these in their time. Some of these I played after.
Yeah, like I played Mass Effect, but I didn't play Mass Effect until the original Mass Effect until they released that big ass bundle last year with all 3 of them.
Legendary Edition. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was the first time I actually ever played Mass Effect because I didn't own a fucking Xbox or a computer that could run it.
I mean, I played Mass Effect when it came out because I got it for free, I think, with something.
Yeah,
I didn't finish it when it came out.
Yeah, I got Mass Effect 2 on my PC or on my PS3 years ago, and I played the shit out of that. And then later, when I got the opportunity to play all 3 of them, I'm gonna probably get shit for this, but Mass Effect 2 is a better fucking game.
Oh, Mass Effect 2 is better than Mass Effect 1. It is.
Yeah,
it is.
It's the best of the series, if you ask me.
I like 3 better than 2 because I think it's got improved gameplay from 2. It took what 2 did really well and it amped it up. And I liked I liked certain aspects of it, but that's
right,
minutiae details. I love the entire Mass Effect trilogy. I love it to death. But
well, I was including Andromeda in there because I also played that.
Well, I played that. Well, I mean, Andromeda, we've had this discussion. I think it gets more hate than it deserves.
Hey, Ariel.
Oh, listen, you can go watch the opening clip, Ariel. I bananaed. It's there.
Do it.
But as for the others, I played a lot of these when they were out and popular. I played the first Assassin's Creed, the Ezio trilogy, and most of Assassin's Creed 3 are excellent games. It all kind of goes to shit after that, in my opinion. But that first one was groundbreaking, and they only improved on it with the Ezio stuff.
Yeah.
And then I played the shit out of Portal and Portal 2. Those games are fucking crazy wild.
I mean, I played Assassin's Creed years later, and I played everything in a row from like 1 to 4, including the Ezio trilogy. And I can only make this statement because I played them all back to back. While again, Assassin's Creed was revolutionary what they did, it was a wash, rinse, repeat kind of game. There was no it didn't allow for a lot of creativity in your assassinations in 1. And because Altair had next to no character development, he was just a blank, boring asshole for most of the game. So Assassin's Creed is great for a gameplay aspect early on, but then you jump right to the Ezio trilogy and you're blown away by the leaps and bounds they made in the second one. Again, I played Mass Effect years later. I played the Uncharted games years later. Witcher, I think is the only one I played in that period of time when it came out. And Witcher 1 is not the best of that series. Not at all. Both in story.
How many did you guys each play?
7. I played 7.
6. Yeah, it's 7 if you count both Portal games.
Let's see. I played Call of Duty 4, yes, Assassin's Creed, Mass Effect, Portal, Uncharted, God of War. I played Halo 3, but that was years later because I don't usually get the Xbox. Star Wars, the Lego one, yeah. Lame, but yeah. Spider-Man 3, Streets, Pro Streets, Manhunter 2, Ratchet and Clank, and World of Warcraft. So, damn. I didn't think I'd played that many. I don't know. So what's the question? Is it the one we
best
like
one
most?
of this year? And I don't. I don't think it's fair to say best one because you have to approach it from what's your genre, what's your taste. I mean,
Yeah.
if in this time of the games I played in this year or around this year, the best time I had was actually playing Civilization 4 Beyond the Sword because one, it was the expansion of Civ 4 at the time. Was an outstanding game. I mean, talk about a fun game. Leonard Nimoy did the voiceover work for that entire game. So every time you got new tech, it was Nimoy telling you about it. It was kind of cool. But Beyond the Sword was an excellent expansion. And I not only played a lot of it, but I played it with friends. So we were doing online play, a lot of it. So I spent a lot of hours playing Civ 4 during this period of time. So for me, I got the most enjoyment out of it. I mean, but if you ask a majority of people the best game in this period, 9 out of 10 are probably going to go, "Oh, Halo 3 was the best one." Grr, grr.
I don't like the Halo series, so I can't agree with that at all.
Well, no, but I'm saying that's like the response you're probably going to get.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another. I'm in the minority on this one.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I mean, Halo was fun and was good, but I don't put it on. I mean, and granted, I only played Halo 1 and Halo 2. I never made it to 3 because I didn't own a 360, so I never got around to it. And a lot of people say that, but to a lot of people, Halo 3, especially if their genre is shooter games, FPSs, that's the pinnacle of gaming right there. Halo 3, completing that story. And all that kind of stuff.
I can see where they might think that. Personally, I think they're full of shit, and there are better shooters even from that era. But yeah.
Oh no, yeah, I agree with you. But there's a certain it's a popular belief, and I guarantee most answers. I mean, God of War 1. I didn't play it for another 2 years. I didn't play God of War 1 until 2009. When I got my PlayStation 3 bundle that came with the God of War 1 and 2 bundle, remaster bundle that came with that. So I was late to the God of War party, but that was essentially the first PS3 game I ever played. And it was a lot of fun. And then I started playing 2 and stopped playing 2 for a long time. I would come back to it years later and finish it up to play 3. But but you look at this thing here, and for the most part, it's a very good snapshot, but there's barely any RPG representation on here. And I'm sure there were some, because most of these are they're mostly action and platformers is what they are. I mean, there's like 3 RPGs on here: Witcher, Mass Effect, and I guess you count, I mean, Phantom Hourglass, I guess, but that's a offshoot of an offshoot of an offshoot of Zelda gaming. And WoW is an MMO, so it's not exactly.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is you got to keep in mind at this time, WoW was kind of taking the world by storm, and people who made RPGs were leaning away from single player games and into MMOs because of the success of WoW. So there were RPGs if you looked hard enough for them, but they were not like the driving force of gaming like they once were.
Yeah, because we're still 2 years away from Dragon Age at this point.
Yeah,
because this is 7 and Origins was 2009.
Yeah, I played all the Lego games. I like the Lego games. The only one I've never touched is Lego Harry Potter, because I fucking don't care about Harry Potter. But yeah, I look, man, I like the Lego games. I like the Lego Star Wars games. That particular one has nothing to do with any Disney Star Wars at all. It's original series and prequel series, and that's it.
Lucasfilm was still owned by George Lucas in 2007. So yeah.
Yeah, and it was dude, it was fun. I enjoyed the shit out of it. And plus I liked Legos. And I like, and at the time I still liked Star Wars. So I was like, hey, 2 of my favorite things in one game. This will, but I played the Lego Marvel games, I played Lego DC games, the Lego Batman games, I played Lego Indiana Jones, I played a bunch of this shit. And so I don't know. I like those games. But the Spider-Man game that's on here is interesting. That's an interesting pick, because so keep in mind, right? I hate
that movie. I hate it so much.
Activision has been putting out Spider-Man games for decades.
Yes.
Right. and most of them are not great. Some of them have better stories than others, but they're not like only diehard Spider-Man fans like myself played all of them. This was a movie tie-in.
Mm-hmm.
So was Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 1. Spider-Man 1 was all right, but it had this weird mechanic.
I the first one, and I only get so far in it.
The first one was graphically prettier than either of the follow-ups, but it had some weird mechanics where you could like web swing across the New York skyline above all of the buildings, so your webs weren't attaching to anything. Right? Like there was some weird shit like that. Like they clearly rushed it out to be a promo product in conjunction with the movie.
Well, they got Bruce Campbell to do voiceover work too for that one.
He did. They did, but he does voiceover work in all three of these.
Okay.
But they the second one shines. It is probably still the best Spider-Man game ever made, and I'm including the fucking Insomniac games in this category. Just in terms of gameplay mechanic, it introduced the ability to actively use your spider sense to dodge projectiles and attacks. For instance, your webbing, you had to have something to attach it to. If you're just flying through the air and there was nothing around, you were going to fall to your death. You needed to have something, whether it was a tree or a lamppost or a building or whatever. There had to be something to attach your webbing to, which was, added a level of like feeling like you were Spider-Man. It's incredible. Spider-Man 3 doesn't build on any of that shit, and it was kind of a weak story to boot. So. I don't know. That's probably the weakest entry in the movie tie-in for the Spider-Man games.
It's also the weakest of the three movies. So,
yeah. So I don't even remember that one very well. That's how bad it was.
Bully McGuire.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, ask like 20 people and you're going to get, I'm not going to say 20 different answers, but you're going to get a lot of different answers for this list here.
Sure.
For the simple fact that it comes down to taste. I mean, I got another one right here just because when I was collecting these like a week or two ago, apparently the algorithm wanted me to see another one. So we got one from 2011, which is a much more, I would say, eclectic selection, because you look at these now, we've got quite a different look at gaming in 2011 we going on here. We got Arkham City, we've got Skyrim, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Uncharted 3, Dark Souls, Deus Ex, Human Revolution, Gears of War 3, that's Skyward Sword, I think that's Skyward Sword, Portal 2, Battlefield 3, Dead Space, Saints Row, the third, LA Noire, Revelations, Crisis 2, SWOTOR, my dear lovely SWOTOR, Infamous 2, Witcher 2, first Space Marine game, Minecraft, Rayman Origins, Isaac, I don't even know. Isaac, I don't know what that is.
That's the Binding of Isaac, and that game is fucked up.
Okay, you'll have to tell me about this one, man. Alice, Sonic Generations, and Catherine. Now, out of these games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've played 6 of these games. I've played 6 of these. But I know of many of them. The last one I didn't know. I know most of these games.
I've played 9 of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
the Infamous games were fun. I didn't have an issue with those.
People enjoyed them. I know they enjoyed them. Did Fable 4? I don't think there's a 4. That current Fable one would technically be 4, Ariel. And that one's been pushed back a year. Because I think they're unuggifying the heroine in that one right now. Because that era is over. Now this is an interesting selection here of all these games. I mean, I've never played the Batman games because it's not my thing. I don't want to be Batman, but Arkham City is heralded as one of the greatest superhero games by many.
Arkham City is pretty fucking good. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was it was a departure from a lot of superhero games at the time.
Yeah. And you have Skyrim, which is people play today.
We know what Skyrim is. Skyrim persists.
Yeah.
It just continues to go and go and go. I played it years later, and so but I don't played it the once. I honestly, I think I had this discussion last week. It was, I don't remember who it was anymore. I do not see the continued appeal of replaying Skyrim.
It doesn't have one. Unless you're really into modding, there's no point in doing it a second or third time. I've played it through it a couple of times, and each time it's diminishing returns, man. Like the first time, it was great, enjoyed the shit out of it. Then the DLC came out, played those, and enjoyed the shit out of them. But every time after that I've tried to get through it, I have not been able to finish it. I get bored.
Somebody, I forget who it was last week, said that when they replay it, they try to play it differently. Like instead of going swords, they try to do magic. They try to do range attacks. They try to they'll build all three houses, and they try. And if that's what keeps you going with it, fine. But I think you're right. Unless you mod the hell out of it, I do not see the appeal of if you played it the first time and did every goddamn thing you could. Just about. Listen, I didn't collect every Daedric super weapon there was. I got my fair share of them. I didn't get all of them. Well, but
I had all of them.
Yeah, I got my fair share. I didn't get them all, but I got a few. I collected every mask. I remember doing the mask mission, collect all the masks, bring them to the altar. I thought it was gonna be so much more when I found all the masks. Just fizzled wet fart at the end of it.
Yeah.
It was so disappointing. Like, that's it. Fight the shade thing and I'm done. All right, yay. So, and then I get the mask that kind of will, I think the final mask reward, it kind of will phase you in and out or something. I don't know. It was disappointing. So Skyrim is good for that first playthrough. You have high adventure doing cool stuff, but I don't get the repeat play appeal because that's the one people use in the meme all the time. The Bilbo meme. Why shouldn't I replay Skyrim again? I don't get that. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Comes back to taste.
I think ESO kind of put me off it a little bit too.
I can understand that. I can definitely understand it. Another one Call of Duty game is every Call of Duty game. So nothing about that. Uncharted 3 was okay. I like 2 the best out of the 3 games.
Yeah, me too.
2, the Chintamani Stone, Shangri-La. That's some cool shit. I enjoyed that one. Original Dark Souls, Samuel.
I've never played it. I've never played any of the actual. I didn't play that. I haven't played any of the. I didn't play Demon Souls. I didn't. I've played a few FromSoft games, but they were all newer than that, except maybe Bloodborne is kind of old now. But so yeah, I've never touched that one. I have no idea what that's like. I assume it's like the other ones that I've played in some respects, but
yeah. Yeah. All right. Deus Ex Human Revolution. I think this is the one I played. I'd have to, you know what? I could actually open up my Steam and I could say if it's the one I played. Hang on. I'm not sure. Because I remember it was around this time, maybe a couple years later, where I got a bunch of shit on sale on Steam. It's when I first started using Steam a lot. And I got a bunch of shit on Steam for sale. And one of them was a Deus Ex game. Let me take a look at my library here. I can actually tell you which one it is. Yeah, this is it. Human Revolution. I played the director's cut. So I had all the DLC with it. It was a good play. I enjoyed it for what it was. It was pretty fun. I don't think I chose the correct ending. Because it's one of those things where you have to choose. You have 3 choices, that kind of shit. I don't think I chose the canon ending, but I never wanted to go back and do it again. And I never played the sequel, the follow-up. So I heard that was kind of a bust. But it was an okay game. It was pretty good. good for what it was. Only a once through though.
Alice in Wonderland, I've heard of it, but I didn't play it.
I've heard of that one too. Yeah.
So, that's the sequel. That's Alice Madness Returns. The original one, American McGee's Alice, is a different game. I did play it eventually. They put out an edition of Madness Returns that included the original game in it, which is where I played it at because I didn't have a PC that played the game when it originally came out. That game is fucked up, but it is it can be a lot of fun and it's really imaginative.
Well, it looks like it's
really
a mind fucker. It looks like it is
really fucking dark. But it goes through some unbelievably horrendous fucking places, storyline wise and character wise. But yeah, it's a good game.
This, I don't know. There's certain ones on here that are really good. Like Portal 2, I like more than Portal 1. I really enjoyed that one.
I'd agree with that. Yeah,
one of the weaker Assassin's Creed games, like back when it was actually Assassin's Creed.
Revelations is a great game.
Revelations is the third part of the Ezio trilogy,
it's
man.
Oh, is it? I thought it was the one after that. Was the Then yeah, if it's the third part of Ezio, that works.
It's where he goes to Constantinople,
and he meets Da Vinci, right?
No, that's the first game. That's
he ends up meeting shit. I don't remember exactly. He does end up going to Vlad the Impaler's tomb in this one, though.
Da Vinci's the one that creates the double hidden blade.
Are you sure?
He met.
Then there was a DLC where Da Vinci gets kidnapped. You have to help him out. I never played that one because I didn't want to buy it.
Okay. Well, if it's part of the Ezio trilogy, then yes, it is. It is a great game. I thought it was the one after that.
Yeah.
All right. That's fine.
It's Revelations is the one that gives Altair a personality.
Any of them that are still when it was Assassin's Creed and not fucking some open world roam around, like
that's not till Origins.
Actually, then I'll go with it. But some of the stuff on here, I don't get why it's on here. But
I mean, Gears. One of the things that would have been I would have wanted to do as to get an Xbox would be to play the Gears of War games, but I never got around to it, so I can't really speak to that one. I know I was actually talking to somebody about this the other day. Zelda Skyward Sword was a lot of fun when you're a kid on the Wii, but you don't want to play it as an adult because that was the Wiimote. You had to do all the crazy shit to make the combat work. And there's no controller translation for that. So that's like the failing of Skyward Sword. I never played Battlefield 3. That's like COD, so I'm not into those. I know Dead Space. That's Dead Space 2. Well, I know the Dead Space franchise holds a place of, I guess, reverence for people who like those jump scare types of games.
I've heard really good things about the series. I've just never had an opportunity to play any of it.
Those aren't my thing, so I'm never probably going to play it.
I played Infamous 2. It wasn't that great of a game. The story wasn't that good. The powers are cool, but the whole neon kind of powers that I think the second one had, electricity, and it was like also neon. It was weird. I like the Infamous games, but myself, I enjoyed them. But you're right. The stories were never great in any of those games, but they weren't really the point. You're right.
I think the only thing LA Noire is famous for is Press X to Doubt, the meme. Isn't that the source of Press X to Doubt? I think. I didn't like them, but I also don't like Noir that much. It annoys me most of the time, so yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that at all. We've already talked about Minecraft. This was the birth of what is now lit to today, and it's still going strong. Space Marine 1 came out. That shows you how many years it was between Space Marine 1 and Space Marine 2. And Space Marine 2 was a success last year, big success for Warhammer 40K franchise. Witcher 2, Assassin of Kings. I remember when it came out, but I decided not to get it because I just wasn't in the mood to play any more Witcher games. And I bought it a decade later for $3 on Steam. And it was worth the $3. Good game. I like it. And it's a good warm up for Witcher 3. And then you mentioned Infamous 2. I never played the Infamous game, so I can't really speak to those. Of course, then there's my love, my beauty, my my ever beloved SWTOR, Star Wars: Old Republic, fantastic MMO. Still managing to hold on.
Yeah, if I had to pick a favorite on this list, it'd be KOTOR. Yeah,
yeah. So I enjoyed the hell out of SWTOR. It's so the base game is still great to play. It really is good. And that bottom row, I never played any of those games at the bottom row. You mentioned that Origins of Isaac. You said that was fucked up?
It's the Binding of Isaac. So you're playing as the semi-deleted fetus of Isaac, son of Abraham.
Mm-hmm.
And you have this whole Kirby-like ability to absorb powers from your slain enemies, and all of it is like based on like very, very blasphemous scripture.
Jeez.
It's fucked. That whole game is fucked.
No,
one of my nephews plays the shit out of it.
No, that's SWTOR, Star Wars: Old Republic. That's the MMO, which is the follow-up to KOTOR.
Is that the MMO?
That's the MMO. That's the MMO. Trust me.
Is that? Oh, okay, yeah. Then I've never played that, but I do love me some KOTOR
I have
too.
I mean, membership does get you access to some of my playthroughs. We play through a bunch of those, and one day we'll go, if they do release the Mac version, which it says they have servers up for that. They're working on that. I might go back into it at some point because it'll be a lot easier for me to play it and stream it from this end. Because whenever I streamed it on my Windows partition, there was always lag problems with OBS. So I don't really like to do it over there, but I don't suffer those problems over here. So if the Mac servers do go up, I would do it. That is not the main guy. No, that's not Bastila. That's Satil Shan, her descendant. And that's Darth Malgus. That's not that's not shit, what's his name? That's shit, what was Revan's partner? It's too late losing names and losing points there. But that's Malgus and that's Satil on the cover. That's not Bastila. And that's some other Jedi on the front, but he gets killed. He dies in the intro. And you're right, the Catherine game, this is basically a soft core. That Catherine game was basically a soft core porn game where you go on these trippy dream things where you're chased by lambs or cows or something, and you're bouncing on her tits in your dreams. It was a fucked up game, and a lot of people played it, and a lot of people liked it, but it was a mentally disturbed game, from what I understand.
I've only seen like stuff for the second one where you have like ram's horn and you hit things with a pillow or some shit. I've never played them though.
So, yeah, this is an interesting selection, and again, if push comes to shove, based upon personal enjoyment and amount of time I got out of it, I would say SWTOR would be my pick for this, based upon the years of enjoyment I would get from it, because I played this thing for about 4 or 5 years straight from launch. The most I'd ever played in MMO straight without breaks. So, but gaming,
yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. It is about taste. And thing is how that's SWTOR, which I never actually played. I might have to change my answer. It's a toss-up between probably Arkham City and Alice for me.
That's pretty fair in terms of both Arkham City and I like you said. I always heard positive stuff about the Alice game. I don't know. I don't know what that Sonic game is. I have no idea.
Yeah, neither do I. I stopped playing Sonic by then. I would say either Arkham City or Uncharted 3, just because I like games with really complex movie-like type stories, and Uncharted's, that's kind of their thing, to make a game that you would see as a movie and enjoy. So,
yeah. But a lot of good games there. That's the thing. That another year of good games. We don't get that much anymore, which sucks.
Yeah.
All right, we're coming up on 2 hours. I guess I have one story we can talk about. I do have one story. I'm going to save this other one I had here for a rando discussion. We'll save that for another time.
Do you want to watch the Tron Ares?
I did that
trailer?
yesterday. I did that
Oh,
yesterday.
did you?
We did that yesterday.
Mhm.
I was not impressed. Have you seen it?
I think I
saw
have
it,
no
yeah.
idea how they're gonna bring the Tron world into the real world. How they pull that off? I mean,
That's what we
I guess
complained
if you
about.
can be pulled into it, you can bring it out. But
I don't want. First of all, I didn't like the second one. I didn't like it at all.
I didn't either.
I don't want my real world with the Tron. I just think that's a bad idea. I just think I don't like it, and nothing about that trailer made me excited or interested for the movie. And I picked that movie to be a bomb. And when I made my predictions, I predicted it was going to flop.
Well, I think it'll flop because people are just sick of Disney. But I don't know. I might watch it just because the nostalgic of it. But I did not like the second one. I love the first one. I think I watched that about
original Tron.
About 100 times when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
But yeah, like I said, it all depends on how they play that they bring all those things into the real world.
And I'm not a Jared Leto fan.
No.
Jared Leto.
No, it's Morbin Tron time.
And they killed Tron in the second movie. So I don't know, why is it still even being called Tron?
No, they didn't kill Tron. They killed the dad. What's his name?
No, the program. I thought the program died.
No,
Tron sacrificed himself in the second
no. Tron is corrupted and is chasing them essentially the whole movie, and then at the end they are able to free him from the bad version of the dad that he had made. He had made a bad version of himself to control that world when he wasn't in it, and it became corrupt and was holding the dad hostage. And the dad, I think, sacrifices himself at the end. But I think Tron lives. I'm pretty sure. But I only watched it once. So
yeah, I only watched it once, and I was like barely watching it. Everybody keeps saying Tron is dead whenever
Is he?
this conversation comes up. So I thought I remembered him dying.
I thought
I remember Tron sacrificing himself when he got his mind back. That's all I remember.
Flynn, that's the dad's name.
Yeah.
I could have sworn Flynn sacrificed himself, and Tron says, "I'll keep this place safe for your dad," type thing. And as the sun goes out and gets out of the thing.
It sucks, and I don't really particularly like Olivia Wilde either. I think she's also a psychotic human being, so I don't really like to watch her in anything.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd let her stab me after the quiz.
She was hot in freaking House, but then
that's where we first saw her, and then she became somewhat of a star, and then she revealed what an insane person she is, and
now
her hotness for me, the hotness evaporated. So
I hate banger, but.
I try not to give in to my baser instincts, unlike you barbarians.
That's because you didn't drink from a hose.
So all right, so I do have this story. Let's check this out. This is from last week. Actually, wait. Is this real? Oh, it's locked. Never mind. It's locked behind a membership. Fuck it. Can't talk about it. Didn't realize the membership locked.
I had something pulled aside for tonight, but let me see if I can dig it up.
Yeah.
Basically,
it was talking about live action Zelda movies, but if the article's not there, I can't talk about it. So, and I am not I'm not getting VIP to that park place. I'm not doing
Ariel says, yeah, Tron did die. Well, I
okay.
Like I said, saw it once, can't remember to
Yeah, listen. The banana will just live on in the clip. It's not going to happen again. I'd have to lose a bet, or
wait.
And since I'm not into humiliation like Dermy, I'm not gonna like.
I don't get that. Hey, at least Adam ate a banana live. It's all like, is that like something I should admire that? I'm kind of.
No, it's for Ariel's enjoyment and pleasure at this point.
She's just trying to.
Look, Ariel. I don't eat the banana. People eat my banana.
That's kind of the way it should be happening. Listen, I lost a bet and I fulfilled my end of the bargain. That was it. It's never going to happen again. That doesn't mean I won't play the clip to like embarrass myself because it's funny, but it ain't going to happen again.
So most of my live streams are like weird news and like science related or conspiracy theory related or that kind of thing, right? Ariel's been coming into my chats and talking about you eating bananas.
Well, I guess I fulfilled one of her fantasies. I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta be careful, Sam. You keep talking about people eating your banana. She's gonna trap you in her closet that she keeps all her
Right.
boy toys in.
So
Might be
all
coming
right,
from
so
We'll be in
victims.
trouble.
I'm tap. Let me check my bookmarks and make sure maybe there's something hanging out there that I saved.
Yeah, the only thing I had pulled aside was this Bounding in a Comic story about Magic the Gathering is doing a crossover with Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I saw that. And it's gay.
Well, yeah, it's really stupid. I mean, they've been doing crossovers with fucking everything because, first of all, they're out of goddamn ideas because they fired all their good writers and artists years ago.
Yep.
You know, and yeah, it's just it's dumb. Like, why in the hell is this happening? I also saw some stuff. I guess they did a Marvel crossover too, and there's a whole series of like Deadpool cards that are like one of a kind. They all go to this website and order these cards and all that shit. It's like, why are you doing this? Why do you continue to do this?
Mm-hmm.
I never really got into freaking Magic the Gathering, but I respect the hell out of the game and stuff till they started doing that. Now it's just so lame. They'll put any Godzilla on there and shit. So
yeah. I mean, I got into it from what was that? I guess I want to say 95 through 99. I was decently into it. When I
played from 94 to probably 2008, and then I started playing again in 2015 when my kid wanted to learn, and I played till probably 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was they were already going like way stupid there. There were a few cool things that they put out, but that was when they started doing like branching out into other IPs and worlds and shit that weren't their own. Because right around that same time that I ended up getting back into it for my kid, my brother bought almost a complete set of this. I forget what it was called, but the entire thing was based on Greek mythology, like specifically Greek mythological monsters and that sort of thing. And it was a cool set, but it was like you guys don't have any idea what you're fucking doing anymore, do you? You know,
I mean. After I kind of quit playing around 98, 99, I played it a little bit in 99, 2000 when a friend of mine broke. He had the I forgot what it was called, but basically it was a parody Magic expansion where the rules were just insane. Like you had denim walk.
Yeah, there's a couple of those.
You're wearing denim. It was like same as like Swamp Walk or Forest Walk, or it had outrageous cards like Timmy the Power Gamer. Which was funny.
Timmy the Power Gamer is one of the greatest fucking cards of all time. Don't you badmouth Timmy?
I'm not badmouthing it. We had a whole joke that we made lore about that for our great gaming group. You know, that became lore. We actually made fun of that. There was all kinds of silly. It was a very silly thing, and we played that for shits and giggles in college a little bit because he had enough cards for a couple decks. That was like the last series one. I sort of back in 2011, I thought I was going to get back into it because when I came up here for my second degree, I thought I had found a gaming group like the one I had helped build back at Denison. Of course, they were just a bunch of weak ass posers, and they were looking like I saw some magic going on, and I thought I could get involved. So I quickly spent a couple $100 on getting a whole bunch of magic cards, and only to had never used them. It was such a fucking waste of money because I quickly realized, oh, these guys sucked. I'm not playing these guys. These are terrible. I have my SSS strategy guide in the box. It's tattered and in pieces, but I have it. I have that. It's in a box, Ariel. And for the record, I'm still trying to get. I still can't pre-order my physical copy of Remastered Collection. We are 10 days away. And it's still not available for pre-order anywhere, physical copy. I'm very annoyed. I'm hoping on day of it'll appear because I want physical copy. I do not want digital copy. Even if my PS5, I want to hold it in my hand so that no one can take it from me ever again. Well, I still have all my copies. It's not like I don't have them, but mine is tattered. All my Lunar stuff is tattered from either creative use or just wear and tear over the years. But so it's I gotta
Honestly,
finish. I gotta finish Suikoden 1 this week. We might do this tomorrow. We might do it tomorrow. You're saying? Sorry.
I actually miss playing Magic for fun with my friends. I do.
It was fun.
It's a fun game, and obviously, like, so they've changed, like D&D, they've changed the rule sets over time, many times, and some of it's gotten quite stupid. So especially when they started messing with the order of the stack in like I think 8th edition or whatever. So I never went past like 5th edition rules. In terms of that. So like the house rule was like, you do 5th edition rules. So like an interrupt always.
I think we just got our first shitternet hit of the night.
Yeah.
We lost him.
Either that
Which
or
is pretty
he's
good.
broke.
2 hours in, first shitternet hit.
Yeah.
Too bad it was in the middle of a story.
That might be a record.
It is. I think it lately.
Sorry about that.
I
glitched out.
There you go. You're back. You were saying something about interrupt was the last thing we heard.
I got interrupted while I was talking about the interrupts. But yeah, like interrupts and mana sources always come first. Like everything else is slower than them. And then they started fucking around with the order of things in the stack and later sets. And it really kind of neutered the game. Plus the power creep got crazy stupid.
Yeah. I mean, last time I took it seriously was the first time they had gold cards coming out, the dual cost cards, like legendary things. That was when they first started coming out. But I did like playing with my friends, especially with the friends who didn't give a shit, because that lets you do stupid shit like the rainbow deck. I always like trying to make a rainbow deck work just for shits and giggles. It was fun.
I've had a few that actually did work. They're hard to do, but they're not impossible.
I was an average player. I wouldn't say I was a great player. I was an average player because I would get locked into certain things I really like to do. Like there was a period of time early on where I did everything possible to try and make my deck applicable to summoning the Colossus of Sardia as quickly as possible and making it just because like, oh, it's got 9/9. I'll stampede your ass. And it worked for a little while.
I had back in the day when this would have been around 4th edition because I was still using Fallen Empires cards, right? For those who know the game will know how far back I'm talking. But with the Fallen Empires, there was a whole subset of creature cards called thralls, which were black, basically sacrificial zombies. You could do all kinds of fucked up shit with them. And I had a black-blue deck that I somehow managed to work in a Lord of the Pit, a Leviathan, and a bunch of fucking thralls, right? And the way that it worked was, so I would always discard the Leviathan and the Lord of the Pit into my discard pile, or because I had these other cards, these blue cards that would, blue-black cards that would resurrect a creature card from your graveyard directly to play. And you have to sacrifice a creature. Well, if the creature you sacrifice was a thrall, it comes into play with a +2/+2 counter on it. So I would end up with a 9/9 Lord of the Pit.
Nice.
And a 12/12 Leviathan, and then I just used a couple of blue flying enchantments to make them flying because they both already had. Well, you didn't have to do that with Lord of the Pit, but you did with Leviathan.
They
already had trample. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I never got really into those kind of games. I heard that people who do play those games though do play with mini decks.
Yeah.
I was so into it. Like I had a Lord of the Pit, but it was a gift. It was like a Christmas gift from a friend. He had gotten it for me. I never had a Leviathan. I did have. See, he got me a Lord of the Pit, and I worked it into my deck. My black deck was actually pretty good because it had the Lord of the Pit, and then I built it around Baron Sengir and Sengir vampires. So
nice.
That was. I always enjoyed that one. That was good. And I did have
kind of messed up that you're your friends, but yeah.
I did have a Force of Nature card too. So I had a green deck built around the Force of Nature card and a couple other things in there. I was generally a black and green player. That was generally what I played. I did go around with white and red sometimes, but
did you ever like give your decks like stupid names?
No, but I did make up names for different characters. I did.
Yeah.
Like we had silly names for like nicknames. Like everybody called the product wizard Timmy. So everybody.
No, everybody in the world calls him that because he pings like Tim the Enchanter from Monty Python.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was one of my brothers has a deck that he calls Processed Dog because that's what it does to you. Like he does this whole thing. There's a card combo in it that he can do pretty much ad infinitum, which allows him to exchange his life in exchange for like bigger and bigger creatures. And after like 4 turns, he's got like 8, 10,000 creatures, and you're dead. That's it. You like. There's no beating that fucking deck. I've never beaten it. It's really annoying. I've got one that is a black and green sapperling deck, which basically revolves around plant, people, and fungus, and I call it Crotch Rot.
I remember there were like I think it was a black deck where basically creating token monsters to sacrifice, shit like that. I don't know. It's so long ago. I don't really remember. But it was fun. It was fun playing Magic with your buddies. That was one of those things. And because of that, we would always try other card games that came out. I remember when the Star Wars card game came out and spent a crap ton of money on that. And no one knew how to play it because it had a silly attrition rule that none of us could figure out.
Yeah, the Star Wars game was really fucking complicated. The Star Trek game was just as complicated as that one too.
I don't know. I didn't see about this. Okay. Well, Ariel's right. I didn't know there was a Star Trek game. Never that.
Yeah. It was interesting. It was an interesting game, but it was hard to fucking learn.
I would have loved to actually figure out how to play the Star Wars game because I had spent a lot of money buying boxes. I mean, I had a Vader card, had a Millennium Falcon. Had all the cool shit in there, had all the great cards. I just didn't know how to play it. We read the manual over and over and over again. We just couldn't figure out the attrition rule. We're just a bunch of high school kids, and we just couldn't figure it out. And this is pre internet what it was. So it wasn't like we could go look it up anywhere and have a video explain it to us or have a literal breakdown of what it was. So like 3 or 4 high school kids, we just for some reason we could not figure out the rules of the Star Wars game, which sucked because I really wanted to play it. But what was the worst kind of deck? I don't know. I can't really say.
In Magic,
Magic,
the one kind of deck that everybody fucking hates playing against. Everybody does. It's only fun for the person using the deck. Is a blue mill deck.
I don't know.
Well, the blue focuses on like control and that sort of thing, which is already annoying. A mill deck forces your opponents to discard their library directly into their graveyard, huge chunks at a fucking time.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, nobody enjoys playing against that shit. That is the absolute worst to play against.
That does sound like crap. I mean, I always hated.
My kid uses a blue mill deck.
I always hated blue players and white players. I hated those people.
Yeah.
It's just like, you're no fun. This is annoying.
I use white, but I only used blue when it was because they had some enchantments and some sorceries that were really fucking useful. But otherwise, I was not a control player, and I've never enjoyed being one. So I more or less stayed away from blue. But I did like white. Had some white. First of all, was the only the color that had protection spells against all colors and artifacts.
It was the defense deck back in the day.
Yeah,
so you just like to sit there and play defense
and healing and that sort of thing. Yeah. And you could usually build a pretty good like mob deck, where all you had like dozens of cheap small creatures that you could drop out that would benefit from a couple of enchantments, that kind of thing. But I found that sometimes opposite colors worked really well together.
Yes,
like black and green, for example. White and black works really together. Yeah. I used white and black, white and red.
Real quick, we do have for $3.33 from Stream Elements from Anonymous. I'm currently locked up in a basement, and the guy keeping me here says he'll let me go only if you drink from a hose. The cops are outside, and they're saying they won't arrest the guy and save me until you drink from a hose. Please help. Well, Anonymous, thank you for the tip, but you're on your own. I'm sorry. I have no
Adam
hose.
doesn't love his fans.
I have no hose to drink from. I'm sorry. Thank you for the tip.
But
Much
that he
appreciated.
has no hose, people.
Have no hose to drink from. Have no hose to drink from. Do not pretend. I'm not going to play your lack of penis game. Not happening. But
Penis game, huh?
I am glad. I am glad though that I got out of the card game before Pokemon became a thing.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I was sort of, and it's right around the time Yu-Gi-Oh became a thing too. So I'm kind of glad at the same time because I could have gotten into Yu-Gi-Oh. I could have because I love the idea of what the show represented, bringing the cards to holographic life, and that would have been cool. But I really did like the concept of original Yu-Gi-Oh before it got wilder and crazier with its rules, like everything else. But I fear that I might have gotten into Pokemon too, just because during those first few years we were all into it hardcore because of the anime and the game and Red and Blue. So it well, honestly, I traded one money sink for another. Instead of card games, I got into Warhammer. So I kind of traded one money sink for another.
Fantasy or 40K?
Fantasy.
I always liked fantasy better.
It was cheaper than 40K, but it was still expensive at the time. And I was doing fantasy, and I was doing Necromunda, and I was doing Blood Bowl. So I was doing 3 different ones. So I was spending quite a bit of money from 98 to from 98 to 2002. I was spending money on miniatures a lot during that period of time. So
one of my brothers got really into what was it called? War Machine, which is like less models but bigger.
I think I know what you're talking about, and I think what happened, what some players would do if they didn't have the money to keep getting the Games Workshop stuff, they would buy things that were close approximations and use those instead.
Yeah,
and I think that was one of those that was fair game to use.
Well, no, if I remember right, War Machine was actually a different game that he was playing. It was also a tabletop with like models and shit, but the models were bigger and you used less of them in the game, and the rules were fairly similar, but they were a little different.
Yeah, I mean, no, we're talking tabletop, Ariel, not the video games. We're talking tabletop, like miniatures, like build your army with points, put them out there.
I'll be honest, I fucking hated playing Warhammer, but the crafting of it, I didn't mind so much, except for the price point.
Dude, my desk in my room freshman year was just a mess of super glue and paint, because that's all I used it for. I didn't actually write papers. Everything was done on computer. So that desk was purely for model, miniature building, painting, and all that kind of shit.
What did you play? What army?
Orc. Greenskins.
Huh.
The WOG. I love my greenskins.
I was Chaos Undivided.
All right. Like with a lot of those at the time, when it came to like Necromunda, I was really good at Necromunda because it was a smaller scale 40K type of thing. But when it came, and it was a lot easier to beat other players who were more experienced because it's a simpler rule set. Playing tabletop full-on war, especially fantasy, the guys I played against, one dude, he played Chaos, usually Khorne or Slaanesh. So there's that cheese. But then the other guy I played against often, he played High Elf, which was super fucking cheese. So I never really won. I got my ass kicked a lot.
Yeah, the guy who got me into it played High Elf too. That smug son of a bitch.
Yeah. Fuck. Talk about the cheese of the. This is 2000. This is 98 to 2002. So that's like peak fucking cheese of the High Elf.
Right.
So it was just pain in the ass. So I first thought I was going to be dwarf, but then I'm like, no. I'm going greenskin. And my army was pretty good. I had a couple of special generals that I bought, commanders. Grimgor Iron Fist was my favorite. I ordered him specially, and he came in the mail when I got the strategy. When I got the current army book for it. And I really that was like probably one of the best paint jobs I'd ever done on him. And he was a great commander. He was a Black Orc, so he was able to basically diffuse animosity amongst my units best I could. But
Nice.
It was a lot of fun, and I watch everybody else play 40K. So those were a lot of great years of gaming, but you learned pretty quickly that the plastic crack was pretty expensive. Depended, Ariel. I mean, fantasy. I guess I'll go full screen just for a second here.
Your standard troops are pretty fucking small,
like this big. Standard troops this big. Specialty ones this big. Mounted ones could be like this big. Giant ones could be like I have ogres. I have a pack of ogres that are like this big. Giants and trolls could get a little bigger. Mounted dragons could be like this big. Demons, greater demons, like the Bloodthirster, the Great Unclean One, the Keeper of Secrets, they could be like this big. Now, if you got into 40K, the mechs, they're huge. The war machines for 40K, they were pretty damn big when you do those battles. So, just go look up Warhammer Fantasy, Warhammer 40K armor armies on Google Images. You'll get a lot to see what it was like.
The only thing I still have is a 25th anniversary edition of Helm Hammerhand, who is still in the box. I had never put it together or painted it.
That's probably because in the box probably worth something.
No, I just never got around to it, man.
Oh well, I've still got all my basic greenskin army in a box in the closet. I don't have any of my specialty commanders anymore. I don't have my orc on a wyvern anymore. I don't orc warlord on the wyvern. I think one of the orc warlords on a boar. I think he's still in there. I don't have my Grimgore Iron Fist. He's lost to the ages. I don't know where he is. But all my basic army is in a box most of it unpainted because I got bored and I didn't feel like finishing painting. And they're like, all they have is like the matte black, the base black spray paint on them. That's all most of them have. Because once I left school, I wasn't the type of person that was going to walk into a random game store and play with randos. I wasn't going to do that. So
no, I think probably the one thing I did enjoy doing was like making small modifications to sort of make individual units stand out a little bit.
Yeah.
Specialty ones.
That was fun. Yeah.
My personal favorite that I ever did was it was just a standard Chaos Warrior, right? And I took one of the shield hands that's got like the strap across it where you glue the shield, and I took a couple of spikes that I cut out from another thing, and I glued those big ass spikes to that strap so it looked like he had giant spikes on his fist, and then I just coated that arm all the way up to his elbow in gore, and I named him Fisty.
I did that. I did a lot of modifications on my on my Necromunda gangs because they were smaller scale and individuals. I didn't get around to playing fantasy long enough to really make specialty characters for my armies. I know people that did do that. I remember reading an article in I guess at the time it was like the Warhammer magazine. There was this one guy who had this character that he made for every single type of army in every single Warhammer army there was. It's like this dude just was there across all of that. I found that pretty interesting. Modding would have been cool, modifying the miniatures, but that takes some level of patience, and I could see the image, but I don't think I definitely never had the tools. All I had was my Swiss Army knife that I used for a lot of my stuff, and that was not exactly a tool of precision. So that I always did have an urge to do that. And one day I suppose I will want to make one day I hope to like have a miniature option for characters for my story, stuff like that. Like that's like a perk for merch that one day I want to have is like miniatures, not for gaming, just maybe for funsies, for collecting purposes for people. And yeah, Warhammer would be cool, but it is an expensive hobby, very expensive, and Games Workshop does not drop its prices; it only raises its prices. So if you ever want to get a start, the best thing to do is go to eBay and just look for a lot of an army and try and get it for a good bid. That's a great way to get miniatures for cheap. eBay. Find a good army, buy it up if you want to start something. But play with friends. Don't play with randos. Play with friends, because they may beat your ass if they're better, but you'll have a good time doing it. All right, we're over 2 hours in, and I'm sort of running on fumes because I'm still sleeping a lot as I get rid of this cold. So, let's say our farewells, so I can go pass out. Devil, what's your week look like?
Same as always, pretty lame. No, I'll be on Friday on Abyssal Musings and the pub. We'll finally have our new thumbnail. It cost me a shit ton of money, so I hope everyone thinks it looks good. I'm not even joking. Shit ton of money. Like, you guys would call me retarded. But because I had to purchase somebody to do one of the parts. And,
okay.
Anyway, but yeah, otherwise, I'll say my adieu.
All right, Samuel.
I got a thing on Wednesday on Gal's channel for Frankenstein's Let It Simmer stream, because I'm the one recommended that book, so I gotta go like tell everybody I fucking told you so. It's a way better book than Shirley Jackson's anything. But otherwise, then yeah, Abyssal Musings on Friday, pub after that, Screaming to the Void, probably something over on the Exiled Linus too. She has started doing panel streams again, so we'll see if that keeps up. So this last weekend was fun. I got to expound upon why AI OnlyFans girls are going to be the death of us all. So that was good.
I hate it when I hate not being able to tell the difference when I'm looking at things like, wait, is that real? Is she real? She's not real.
And then back here next week for Mellow Mondays.
Yeah. As for me, we will see what the week entails this week. We're building up to a couple of things. We've got next weekend begins Doctor Who, Shooty Who Season 2. We start that next weekend. I'll be doing reviews for that. And we're going to hopefully work out. We might not get our first episode of Who Cares Reviews because Jeremy will be on his way he'll be in Vegas for that week already. And Jed's in Scotland. So I don't have my panel for the show. So we might not start off the season with the panel. We'll be back the following week, but so we'll be reviews for that. I'm going to probably going to finish up Suikoden 1 this week since I didn't get to it before I left last week. Probably finish up only about an hour and a half left because I'm at the end of the game. Shouldn't be too long. Maybe some other gaming streams this week. News will be what it is. No drive-in. We're off for drive-in until the 19th when Jed is back from his honeymoon. And then we will be back to normal. I still haven't chosen. It's my pick. I have not chosen a movie yet, so I have to think about that. Let's see. Rest of this month, no Anime Odyssey again because Jeremy combination his schedule. And, of course, he's at Vegas for that first part of it or when we do it. I'll be on Ballbusters. I'll be on Saturday, even if I'm not playing anything. This time, hopefully, I won't fall asleep because I did fall asleep in the middle of Saturday this week. Like, boom, I was out cold. And they were all yelling at me to wake up at one point, apparently. Let's see. You can catch Bradley Burnett, Duke Devil, releasing our DS9 show through the wormhole. Every Wednesday, he'll edit it up. Should be up around Wednesday. We reviewed talked about one of the worst episodes of season 1. It was supposed to be like essentially the first Miles and Julian episode where the charlatan with the fake thing that the people we are a strong village, that dumb episode. So that was pretty dumb. It's the week season 1 episodes, but we're almost done. We're almost through season 1. Catch that on Wednesdays. I know I'm rambling at this point because my brain's not working right. Either way, so stay tuned, guys, for hopefully we get back in the swing of things this week. Just keep an eye out. I'm trying to get myself back to 100% so that we can keep going. No. That was No. Amarillo Lane, that was from several weeks ago, Ariel. We already got through that piece of crap episode.
And also, if anybody in chat is going to be in Vegas, feel free to walk up to me and say hi. I'll be there.
Yeah, a lot of the crew is going to be there, making Dermy suffer. Should be funny. Remember, guys, apparently he moved the goalpost on me. The glue the yarmulke is not quite there yet, so let's get there. So he has to glue the yarmulke to his head. Do it for me. Even though I get no actual compensation for it, it'll feel good in my soul. Anyway, so that's it. I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. We're happy to be back. We will be back here next week for Mellow Mondays, even though lots of people will be in Vegas. Samuel and I also will be here. So we will still show up for that because it's the job. Anyway, we have fun. All right, thanks for joining us. Thank you for joining us, guys. I'm going to go lie down. So good night, everybody. We'll see you next week. Take it easy, everybody.
Bye.